McMaster University was founded in the city of Toronto in the 1800s, and it was wooed to the city of Hamilton right after the stock market crash. So in the 1930s, McMaster came to Hamilton. We're very research intensive, and we also have these unique programs for education in the Blue School. What we're trying to produce here at McMaster is we're trying to train, we're trying to develop the whole engineer, the whole package. When I train a student, I'm training a future leader. This is not someone who's going to be, in the back room, doing their technical calculations. This is a future CEO. This is a future chief technology officer. Someone who's going to go into the halls of power or into the boardrooms and make a difference.
Traditional way of delivering practice-based learning and experiential learning in engineering programs are designed to work along the lines of courses, along the lines of topics, and of course, along the lines of programs, the traditional programs, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering. The labs focus on those areas. But Industry 4.0 doesn't work like that. So you need to train students in a completely new way, using facilities and labs and technologies that cut across topics, cut across courses, and sometimes even cut across programs. You need skills in automation, in systems integration, in software, in sensors, and of course in the primary field in which you're working. And that's why universities that are at the forefront of teaching Industry 4.0 have almost no choice but to develop facilities like the Learning Factory.
The program prepared me for the real world because of the focus on hands-on learning. We spent time in labs programming PLCs. This is where I learned how to program a PLC, learned about communication networks specific to automation like Ethernet IP. So going out into the workforce, I think I had to step up on a lot of people in a traditional engineering program because I had that hands-on learning in the lab.
A learning factory is pretty much a simulation of a real factory. And when you're in that simulation of a real factory, realize that people do not work based on the education or topics or programs that they took, but they work together to deliver those functions that you need to implement the advanced manufacturing. So you either have to go through a bunch of training in the company, or you have to take a program like ours. One of the criteria that we wanted to fulfill was making sure that we implement technologies that are widely used. And this is how we wound up using Rockwell Automation PLCs, because we want our students to use the kind of technologies that they are most likely to encounter in industry. When it came to the manufacturing execution system, again, working with our partners in industry, we ended up selecting a Plex system. The production monitoring component is housed locally here, but on a single server. Again, we don't have to have software applications installed on each and every PLC that we use in the production facility. So it is installed on a single server, again, making it easier to maintain and also making it such that the data that we need locally is stored locally. The data that we want to use globally is stored on the cloud server. You see, now we have a situation where we are using edge computing and we are using cloud computing, both where it makes sense.
Students in this program really learn the whole spectrum of the automation system. So from a sensor and an actuator, a variable frequency drive, through the programmable logic controllers, how to program, how those communicate with each other, visualization, so OPC servers, programming HMIs, and then all the way through manufacturing execution software. So it really gives you a broad spectrum and a good foundational knowledge of that whole automation system. I think that's really important going forward with the workforce, because as the baby boomers retire, there's a lot of gap in skilled individuals to run automation systems and support manufacturing in the industry.
My role as the the director of the Learning Factory, I'm at the forefront of offering that practice-based education that will produce graduates that are ready to work on day one.
When our students graduate and they have an offer in hand and they go out to their employer on day one, they are ready to go because they have that fundamental understanding of what their technical area is going to involve, because their courses have been tuned to what industry needs in that area. So they're industry ready, they are business ready, and they have these, what I would call soft skills or deep skills in terms of communication, in terms of team building, in terms of management of the resources that go into that logistical training. And they are ready to plug in. We find our graduates are ready for industry on day one.
Honestly, I envision a situation where we are going to have everything for everyone that is interested in Industry 4.0. And I envision a situation where we will be able to accommodate almost all students at the university. Because to me, I think that almost everybody within the university can benefit from the Learning Factory.